When I'm wakened the next morning, I don't get out of bed right away. But why? I lie there smiling to myself, lazily stretching out, glorying in the certainty that the day is going to be a good day. I see that Vernita is still sitting on the bedside table. I must be getting awfully absent-minded. I forgot to put her away. Sorry for neglecting you. Here, I'll make it up to you. I roll up my— Whoa, okay. Here you go. I use her to add another mark to make a rows of marks already on my forearm. I sighed contentedly to myself as I watched my blood run along my arm, rolled up to my rolled up sleeve. Oops, I should probably get blood on my I probably shouldn't get blood on my pajamas. Careful, Vernita, or you'll make a mess, you naughty little one. God, the creepiness just got dialed up to 11. I giggle as I get a tissue from the bedside table to wipe off the blood. It's okay, it's all in good fun. Oh my goodness. But I really have to go to school right now. Or really get ready for school. It's the start of my new life with Midas. Once I get dressed and ready to go, it's time to decide who to bring with me. But the choice is obvious. Thor! I grasped his purple handle and put them on the rack. Oh, that's the one with the lightning bolt, right? His purple color fills me with confidence. I know he'll bring me good luck today. I hold him close to my face, admiring the pattern of lightning bolts across his surface. Mighty God of Thunder, will you bring me a storm? Believe me, Yuri, you're in one. Storm. That word is familiar. It was important to me somehow. In a bad way. I feel unsettled again as I try to grasp this memory. I think it was a metaphor I created for something. Something that went on inside my head. It was an intensity that flooded my mind and overwhelmed my senses and thoughts. It made me feel compelled to punish myself. Okay. We're just starting to remember now, and the music is gone. Oh my god. I drop my knife on the floor and back away from it in a panic. My breathing is getting more rapid and my heart is racing. What is this? What am I remembering? I was scared to go near my knives when the storm came. Why would I be scared of my knives? It doesn't make sense. My knives bring me comfort, they bring me joy. I don't know what's going on in my head. I don't understand any of it. But right now I have trouble calming myself. I try to wrench my mind away from those thoughts. I don't know where they're coming from, but it's clear that they aren't good for me. Or they're no good for me. I just keep telling myself that it's okay. That telling myself is okay. It's nothing to be afraid of. The next thing I feel is overwhelming guilt that I drop Thor on the floor. I'm sorry. I go down on my knees in front of him and pick him up reverently. I'm really sorry, I don't know what came over me. I'll make it up to you. Here. I pull up my— Oh god, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I pull up my right sleeve this time. That side hasn't gotten much attention. Thor makes a satisfied click sound as his blade becomes a wreck. I let him give a small cut on my wrist. There you go. That's better, isn't it? I kissed the flat surface of his blade. It's okay, I'll still care for you, never doubt that. I'm going to be late now, so I really need to get going. I put his blade away and slip him into the new pocket of my uniform. Nothing of consequence happens all day. I spent the entirety of my classes looking forward to giving Midas his present. It is very, very unsettling. I don't know, when am I going to get disturbed? I mean, I am disturbed, but I don't know when the scary shit is about to happen. As I approach the club, I hear Natsuki's shrill voice. Please? It's fine, Natsuki. I wouldn't worry about it. What do you mean? What were you guys talking about? Natsuki looks noticeably uncomfortable when I enter. She walks away from Monika without a word and takes a seat without looking at either of us. I vaguely remember what we were talking about, but I have more important matters in mind. Is Midas here yet? Hello to you too, Yuri. Someone's a little eager today. I just want to make sure he feels welcome. It's my responsibility as vice president after all. Of course. I'm sure that if he comes back, it'll make him feel right at home. If he comes back? God! But he has to come back, right? You okay there, Yuri? You look a little upset. Believe me, Monica. I am more than upset. I'm fine. I just need to get back with my book. I'm feeling distressed now. It doesn't occur to me that I might not see Midas again. What will I do with the rest of my life if he doesn't show up? On my way to my seat, Natsuki gives me a sour look and visibly pulls away from me. I feel that she's cradling her arm, nursing a bruise on her wrist. I feel a stab of envy. I wonder how many bruises— What the hell? I wonder how many other bruises she has. Maybe she has beautiful marks like that all over her body. In Act 1, we tried to befriend Natsuki. And we did that by sharing experiences, and now, in Act 2, we're now wondering how many marks does she have? As I sit down and pull up my book, I suddenly feel terribly inadequate next to Natsuki. Can I add enough marks to— What the hell? Can I add enough marks to myself to compete with her? I wonder if I should start now. But no, I need to stay here in case Midas shows up. I'll have to worry about making myself more beautiful later. God, is that a twisted way to say how to convey beauty? Here you are. I see Midas enter the room. He's here! He came! I'm so excited I can barely contain myself. Ah! Hello, Monica! My heart is already pounding too hard to focus, but I see that Monica is talking to him. So I have to make sure I stake my claim on him. This just came to mind. I wonder how creepy it will be when, like, we have to decide who to spend our weekend with. Like, it's between Yuri, Natsuki, and Monica. And what happened in the original game is that we were forced to choose Monica no matter what. I'm so scared. I approach him, doing everything I can to maintain an appearance of calm. Thanks for keeping your promise, Midas. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Rage, rage, rage! My hands twitch. I'm on the verge of shoving Natsuki aside to shut her up. Manga is literature! Finally, she sits back down, sulking. Good riddance. I was enjoying this. Like, I enjoy it right now, don't get me wrong. But that doesn't mean that I'm not scared. I turn back to Midas, trying to regain my focus. I'm sorry, Midas. But make sure to put your comfort first, okay? If you're talking to the guy that represents MC right now, believe me, I'm not comfortable at all. I give Natsuki another angry glare before continuing. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, my excitement builds as I get ready to give him his gift. Perhaps you might be interested in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like I said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. My confidence collapses. This isn't how he's supposed to react at all. How can love be so uncaring about books? I can't keep the hurt out of my voice. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you really don't want to, then I forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, as vice president and all, that I should keep you started, or help you get started, on something you might like. My hands shake in anticipation as I pull out a new copy of Portrait of Markov out of my bag. It's getting increasingly hard to make my voice sound casual. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out the book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, heart is pounding harder than ever, but I have to finish that sentence. Discuss it if you wanted. My hand goes to my pocket to hold the knife. I hide the motion behind the book in my other hand. My desire to cut myself has never been higher. She takes the book from me. I try to pretend that I was just playing with my hair. Thank you, Yuri. I'll definitely read this. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. He turns away from me to walk back to his bag. He's putting the book away. He doesn't want to read it now? I'm left standing there feeling awkward and confused. What do we do now? Should I try talking to him again? I feel too lightheaded to concentrate. I need to sit down. I pick up my own copy and resume reading, or at least pretend to read. None of that went how I expected. He was supposed to be excited for the chance to read. He was supposed to love me for my gift, but I acted like he barely cared for it. I'm feeling so disillusioned. I need this moment to collect my thoughts and decide what to do next. Midas is standing in the room by himself. He isn't doing anything. He's so shy. Maybe this means I need to take the initiative and talk to him first. What do we even say? I've never been good at any social interaction, let alone interaction with the man of my dreams. Should I tell him I love him? Should I kiss him? Should I cut him? You have a very twisted sense of love, Yuri. My hand compulsively goes to Thor in my pocket. Just as I'm thinking this, I see him walking towards me. My heart is pounding too heavily for me to think of what to say or do. And he walks past me. What? I turn to look at him after he passes by. He walks over to Natsuki in the closet. Oh wait. In Act 2, I said this before. In Act 2, you're forced to go with Yuri no matter what. So I guess Midas, or rather MC here, chose to go with Natsuki? And then we're going to portray how we're going to force him to us? What's going on? He's talking to her. Why is he talking to Natsuki? She's being dismissive as rude as always. But he's still talking to her. The hurt I feel is indescribable. It makes me so sad I don't feel like cutting myself anymore. Good, I guess. Make her sadder. I'm trying to turn back to my book, but I can't focus. Natsuki is despicable. Why can't he see that? Could he just be really superficial? Could it be that he just isn't able to see past her pretty face? Maybe I should cut my... No! Don't even try! Maybe I should cut my face to make it more beautiful. But I remind myself that people aren't supposed to know about my cutting habit. That will make it too obvious. I feel frustrated and lost. What do we do? Nothing has gone the way it's supposed to do today. When I look again, I see that they're sitting on the floor together. Oh no, they're reading! She has a look of joy on her face. This is too much. I can't deal with this. What are we doing? I step outside in a daze, slumping down on the floor against the wall. The image of Natsuki's smiling face is burned into my memory. That could have been me. That should have been me. What does he see in her? Does he somehow know about the marks on her body? Maybe they're going to add more marks to each other. No. That thought makes me spiral into despair. It makes me hate my body all the more for being so clean and smooth. I think Thor, oh no, you're gonna do it now? I find myself idly playing with the spring-loaded blade, popping it in and out, and resetting it all over again. I feel torn. I know I should cut myself to improve my appearance, but I feel so depressed that I'm just not in the mood. Yes! For the first time in my life I can say that being depressed is good! Maybe you should try and you know. Don't! I roll up my left sleeve to look at one part of me that's pretty. I bring Thor's blade in contact with my skin just below the mark I made this morning. No! Don't turn dark! Please! I close my eyes and fantasize that MC is the one cutting me. It would be so good. So beautiful. I I feel the sting of the blade breaking my skin. I feel the blood trickling down my wrist. Such a wonderful fantasy. But then I open my eyes and remember that I'm all alone. It makes me feel empty. Tears come to my eyes. All the joy of cutting is pointless if I don't have Midas. I throw Thor in frustration. I hear him clattering all along the floor. I bring my knees to my chest and bury my face in my arms. It's so unfair. He even gave Midas a present. Why did not he do to him? Or for him? I start to cry. He took my gift and brushed it off like it was nothing. I don't know if I should, but I could have done differently to make him want me. I thought he was my destiny. Why else would he show up in the club in the first place? Why else would he have come back? The world is such a confusing place. I don't understand any of it. Oh no. Who was that question mark? Wait. I glance up and see the purple of Thor's handle filling my vision. Monica? Oh, hello. I quickly wipe away my tears, embarrassed that she saw me crying. I distantly wonder why Monica's being so casual about one of my knives, when she had never seen them before. I quietly take Thor out of her hand, put his blade away and slip him back into my pocket. You know, Yuri? Ahem. You might want to sit differently, or at least adjust your skirt. Oh no. I suddenly realized what an undignified position I'm sitting in. Oh no. I stand to get up at Monica's motions for me to stop? I'll join you. She sits down on the floor next to me. Oh no! It's never okay! This is very strange behavior from her. She always carried herself with a sense of grace and poise. Somehow out of character for someone as popular as her to sit on the floor with someone as insignificant as me. She smiles at me, but there's a worried sadness behind her smile. I don't suppose you want to talk about what's upsetting you, do you? The fact that it's Monica speaking, even with this music, I feel very, very scared. I'm still lost in despair about Midas. My emotions are too jumbled up to form a response. Sigh. Well, I guess we're both having a bad day. I'm a little bewildered about what could possibly have put someone like Monica in a bad mood. What happened? Disappointment, that's what happened. She's looking straight ahead with a faraway look in her eyes. Oh no! Wait, this is just Act 2. She's gonna hit the reset one more time! I thought things would be different this time. This is day 2. Yesterday was day 1. She's going to hit the reset, no matter what. Well, they are, but not in the way I hoped. I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't know when, how many days are there in this act. I'm pretty sure this is day 2. Obviously. But I don't know, when does Act 2 stop? I can't remember, rather. This is the first time she really spoken to me, aside from when she made me vice president. At least I think she spoke to me then. I don't have a clear memory of her making me vice president, I just know she did. No! Don't! I guess that means I need to try something new. She looks over at me. No! Don't! How do you feel about Midas? Midas? He's wonderful. Is that so? Oh no! It occurs to me that she was probably looking for a more professional appraisal. I mean, I believe it will make a fine addition to our club. You were the most fortunate that you were able to find him. Maybe I can get more information about him. What do you know about him? Oh no, I'm trying to sound casual. I hope I don't sound as desperate as I feel. Not a lot, I'm afraid. He and I didn't talk much last year. But you must know something, like what he likes, what his interests are? Something I can use to win him over? Monica looks bemused. Why are you so interested, Yuri? Well, that's not a mild expression. She's about to kill us! Looking at Monica's mild expression reminds me that she's likely has no idea that Midas and I are destined to be together. She has no idea how torn up I'm feeling right now. I just want him to feel welcome. It's my duty as vice president. Your duty. Of course. Polonsky seems to be making him feel pretty welcome. So that must make you feel good that you have less work to do. The mention of Natsuki's name makes me feel like I'm burning up inside. I feel angry towards Natsuki, but it's being overshadowed by feelings of profound sadness. But those probably aren't reactions that are appropriate to display, so I say nothing. Aren't you glad that Natsuki is making you feel welcome? I try not to cry, I'm really trying, but a tear rolls down my cheek nonetheless. You look unhappy, what's wrong? You wanted to be the one to welcome him? I can't look at her, I just nod. How does it feel that Natsuki is the one welcoming him instead? Anger, confusion, and sadness, all kinds of feelings that I don't know how to articulate. It occurs to me to wonder why Monica is so interested in how I feel. The little bit of her expression I can't see out of the corner of my eye suggests that it isn't a simple curiosity. Do you feel angry at Natsuki? No! Keep the music playing! I can't play like this! I look directly at her in confusion. What's going on? I wonder all over again if she's somehow sensing my thoughts. She's basically reading our thoughts. It's like I can't accuse her of that. And I probably would sound crazy. Yes. We look at each other for a moment. No! What are you gonna crank up? You're gonna crank up the crazy? We're already at 10! I can probably afford to crank it up some more. What does that? Oh, nothing, just talking to myself. She gets up. We're going to be sharing poems soon. Make sure you come back, Finn, for that. I'm sure you'll love the chance to share with Midas, right? As much as how cute you can be, Monica. I'm not buying it. She winks at me and goes back into the room. What was that all about? I already suspected that Monica might want Midas for herself. So maybe she was sizing up the competition. But that doesn't explain the bizarre way that she went about it. Of course, it's also possible that this is just an example of me being unaware of social conventions. That happens a lot. I think. It does happen a lot, right? My mind is fuzzy again. Why is it getting so hard to concentrate all of a sudden? Why am I sitting on the floor? I need to get back to the club and to show Midas that I'm better than that worthless Natsuki. She hit the No, she didn't hit the reset, but rather she cranked up the crazy. I was not prepared for the sight of Natsuki and Midas still sitting together on the floor. It makes my blood boil. I have to restrain myself from running up and confronting her directly. There has to be some clever way I can get to him, right? His bag catches my eye. It's sitting on the floor next to the one of the desks at the front of the room. Maybe there's something in there that will give me a clue as to what he likes. I glance at him one more time to make sure he isn't looking. And then as quietly as possible, I start rummaging through it. The first thing I see is the book I gave. I feel a bit of a pang about my apparently unwanted gift, but I try not to dwell on it. There isn't much in there besides this notebook and a collection of pens. I start flipping through the notebook. Natsuki's leaning on him. Anger, rage, enmity, choler, fury, vehemence, ire. I don't know half of these words. How dare she? Oh jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? She just looks dazed with a glassy-eyed expression. Here. Monica throws her protein bar on the floor in front of Natsuki. With a look of desperate hunger, Natsuki crawls on her hands and knees to pick it up. She looks so pathetic. Oh my god! Even as she's tearing the wrapper off, she looks irritable. I told you not to give... She stuffs it in her mouth. Don't worry, Midas. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. How can she divine? That's why I always keep a snack in my bag. You're treating her like a dog. Anyway, heard that we share our poems now. I'm still seething in rage at Natsuki's audacity. But I'm completely caught off guard when I see Midas approaching me. Oh goodness. I put all my energy into rearranging my features to not betray the anger I was just feeling. but he ignores me. Oh wait, sorry, I pressed spacebar. Ah, He pulls a page out of his notebook and walks back to Natsuki again. The consternation I feel overwhelms my senses. He should be sharing with me first. Okay. Hello, Monica. Please don't eat me. Or eat my code, rather. Well, I guess we're sharing with each other first then. How dare she? That's more low. God. That's more like it. But seriously, I don't suppose you'd mind looking over my poem? Hole in the wall. Ah, God. The haziness in my mind makes it difficult to concentrate. But it seems to be about being trapped in a place devoid of meaning. Despite how sorry I feel for you, Monica, the way this spot is being depicted, it's making me scared. With hints of suffering but a determination to overcome. Why is he putting up with her rudeness? I can see from here that Natsuki is being very standoffish, almost actively pushing him away. Careful there, you're crumpling my poem. And you're crumpling the girls, Monica. I mean, you basically turned Sayori into a paper ball and you throw her in the trash. Sorry. I take some deep breaths and do my best to focus on what's in front of me. Is this related to the disappointment you mentioned earlier? You could say that. Look, Monica, as much as I love you, I love all the girls. So it would really do me a favor if you don't touch them. I know what I need to do, but I'm not sure how to get there, you know? But on the way, I figured I might as well have fun! How? Are you saying this is fun? I don't understand. That's intentional? It's nothing for you to worry about here. It's something I have to deal with on my own. You look like you have plenty to worry about anyway. I'm worrying about my life. She has a point. Midas is far more important to me than whatever Monica is dealing with. I should just put it from my mind. Did you remember to write a poem last night? Yes, I'll get it. I retrieved my poem from my bag and handed it to her. As Monica is reading, I resume looking at Natsuki and Midas. I want to wipe that smug smile off Natsuki's face. I want to grab her by the— oh god! I want to grab her by the throat and choke the life out of her. Though she's so small, she'd probably snap like a twig. This looks similar, or familiar. I guess this is the part where I tell you to be more— ah, no. This is very disturbing on a new level. More daring. Somehow in the haze of my thoughts, I suddenly realized that Monica is giving me good advice. Yes, we're going to do the Blood and Piss poem. I'm being far too passive. It's time to take the matters into my own hands. I can't wait for Midas to come to me. I'll have to force him to be with me. Only then he will learn to love me. I'll be more daring. That's what I'll do. Thank you, Monica. You're very helpful. You're welcome. Well, I have a feeling that you're about to become more entertaining than ever. Let's see how it goes. Natsuki's moving away from Midas. Now's my chance! I rush over to him, trying to hide my eagerness as I take his poem from him. I want to see the beauty his mind can create, but this poem is so simple and cute! He wrote for Natsuki! This looks more like something Natsuki would have come up with. What's going on? Has she been influencing him already? The fact that MC chose Natsuki is making me feel like this would be more disturbing. Because the crazy has been cranked up to 11 as per the encounter with Monica in the hallway. And now that Natsuki's the one Midas is pursuing, This doesn't really feel good. I think I hate her even more now. This is all wrong. I can't let him become like Natsuki. He belongs to me. What am I going to do? Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. There has to be an explanation for this. Maybe this is part of my hero's journey. Yes, this has to be it. I start feeling more excited the more I think about it. I have to pull him away from the forces of darkness and the evil Natsuki. So the first step should be to get him to improve his writing and to help him to be all that I know he can be. Okay, this is your first time writing, right? Yeah? Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Is it that bad? Or is it that bad? Or it's that bad, sorry. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. I put my face in my hands. I didn't mean to imply that he was bad. I have to stop messing things up. I have to focus. I have to sound encouraging. I have to sound professional. I have to sound impressive. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? I have to stop getting lost in thoughts when he's talking to me. I don't think I can just say, don't be cute. I'll have to make my advice more generic. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style more deliberate. Or very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from their topic matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both style and expressiveness are weakened. Of course, that's something you can be blamed for, or it's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but all comes with practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Insufferable little brat. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do! I'd love to share my thought process behind it. I watch him read my poem, my heart pounding all the time. I hope he likes it. I'm realizing more and more that this isn't going to be easy as I thought. I'm going to have to win him over. He's taking his time to read it. He's not looking very excited about it. He looks indifferent at best. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. But I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. The sensation of my heart pounding is making it hard to focus, but I know I have to keep trying to impress him. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad that you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Why didn't I write a love poem for him? I'm crazy myself for not thinking of it sooner. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Oof. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Midas. Really? Must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than a simple story. Or tell a simple story, or paint a picture. In this case, Perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her past, remaining in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I haven't even thought of that. That's impressive. If he keeps complimenting like that, I don't think I'll be able to contain myself. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Maybe you're right. I'll just have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. With that, Midas goes to show his phone to Monica. I guess that means I go share with Natsuki now. Well, maybe I can use this as an opportunity to learn about my nemesis. I go over to where she's sitting and take a seat next to hers. Let's get this over with. Fine with me. She gingerly hands me her poem. That takes my poem from me, as if afraid to touch it, and I do the same with hers. Eagles can fly. It's the cute one, with a bunch of cute animals. A condescending smile creeps over my face. It's laughably simple. It's a laughably simple poem about a bunch of cute animals. And the last line sounds ridiculous. People can try, but that's about it. What kind of a way to end a poem is that? As if she couldn't think of a way to finish it and just threw some nonsense on the end. What's with this language? I'm very scared. How will this be depicted? Eh? Did you say something? It's nothing. She dismissively returns my poem to my desk. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Higher praise than I expected from her. Yours is cute. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly the feeling about giving up. How can that be cute? Is she really going to pretend that there was some deeper meaning behind it? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but that didn't really come out nice at all. There's a reason for that. I hate you. But I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it. Here we go. Midas did too. I twitched in anger at the mention of Midas's name. So based on that, I'll definitely give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. The nerve of her! Talking as though she could have ever done something worthwhile to say. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come something across particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Midas liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. I summon up all my pride, as much pride as I can with that statement. Here we go. No! This is gonna be way more scary! She looks like she's trying to tower over me. It just makes her look even more ridiculous. Oh? Oh wait, this is the boob insult. I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress her new member, Yuri. Her remark is a painful reminder that he wanted to spend more time with her more than me. Eh? That's not what I try to channel my jealous feelings into my rage at her as I stand up to tower over her. You're 6 inches taller, Yuri. I think you don't need to try to do that. Maybe you're just jealous that Midas appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Deep down, I know that this is just a meaningless display of bravado, but I can't let that show now. And how do you know that he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? I hesitate. Some part of me has to acknowledge that there's a good chance he actually does like her writing more. I'm hoping that Monica hasn't cranked up the crazy more yet, considering our encounter in the hallway. No, if I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. She really hates being called cute. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one who's... Here we go! I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Midas started showing up. Wait a minute. Bitch, how dare you! You just brought up my worst future. Here we go. Oh god. I'll make her suffer? What are you gonna do? Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you taking out your own insecurities on others like that. Because she doesn't have boobs, wow. You really act as young as you look, you Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking, you wanna be edgy bitch. Edgy? There's that word again. It's time to put this child in her place. Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for somebody of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school. You're in middle school? Really, Natsuki? I'm not sure about that. I'm not really sure. If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only thing cute about you is how hard you try. Ooh! Yikes! Whoa, be careful or you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Believe me, Natsuki, I've been doing that for as long as I live. Oh my... Oh, shit! Oh my bad, you already do, don't you? She knows, and she looks smug. You're going to die. Both of us are going to die. I just don't know how Monica will do you. Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Look at Monica. Just looking ominously at the both of us. Let Midas hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels so for you after this. I suddenly noticed that he's watching our argument with a look of concern. Midas, she's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. I wish she just shut up. Ah! What the fuck? Where'd he go? Ah! What the f? What? You did this, huh? He's supposed to be mine and you ruined it. Where are the two of them? You think you could take him away just because you're more beautiful than me? What the hell? What the hell? What? My knife is in my hand, I don't remember pulling it out. What? Oh god! What the? It hurts. I can't breathe. Where am I? Why am I lying on the floor? I'm in the club room? What happened? Everything seems to be moving in slow motion. I can't breathe. With great effort, I take an agonized breath. The pain of it brings me back to some of my ability to focus. Something purple on the edge of my vision. Okay, it's the knife. I instinctively reach out and feel the familiar grip of Thor's handle. There's blood on his blade. Why does it hurt so much to breathe? My lungs and abdomen feel like they're on fire. Did I stab myself? I don't see any sign of a wound. Everything is still moving slowly. But it feels like it's gradually coming back to normal speed as I struggle to pull myself up with my hands and knees. How long have I been lying here? Has it been hours or just minutes? Or seconds? I heard us followed by running footsteps in the distance. Everything hurts so much, I barely have the strength to pull myself up in the chair. Where's Natsuki? I sit doubled over, it hurts too much to straighten up. But with the pain comes some clarity. Did I kill Nat? What? I mean... Okay, so this is different because at least it's rational. It's a rational death, unlike with the original game, which is, well, neck snap. We never really got an explanation for that, but panic overtakes me. What do I do? Why did they do it? What happened to me? I didn't mean it. You're not... I would never do such a thing. But I did. I carry out an act of violence against another human being. I actually used one of my knives to attack someone. I was angry at Natsuki, of course, but why would I go against my values I've carried for my entire life? I didn't mean it. It's like a total change that suddenly came over my personality. I even swore I used the F word. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri? Midas! I didn't mean it! I believe you. Midas, please don't hate me. Please? I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. Oh no. What? I'm sure. What? Wait a minute! But she's dead! How would she forget if she's dead? Completely. She's alive? But what happened? Where is she? When would she forget? Wait a minute! Natsuki was the first one deleted. How are we gonna get deleted? However, I have so many questions that I don't know how to even begin asking. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. I start to stand, but I realize there's still a Thor on my lap. I stay hunched over, hoping that Monica and Midas didn't notice. I still need to talk to him. I need to see if there's some way to salvage our relationship. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to when you're... wait for you to be done. She's looking at me expectantly. Is this still part of some scheme to steal Midas away from me? Believe me, she's going to take more than just Midas. I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kinda sounds like you don't want me around or something, Yuri. She's sounding so suspicious. What do we do? It's not that. It's not... I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Midas today. It would be just embarrassing with you listening. I'm sure I sound rather feeble right now. There's no way this will convince her. I guess I don't really have another choice now, do I? Or could I be wrong? I'm sorry for causing trouble. Wait a minute, huh? What? I'm home? Ugh. I'm feeling more and more uneasy. I'm home? How did I get here? I'm sitting on my bed with Thor still in my lap in the exact same position that I was when I was in the club room. It's as if I was somehow magically transported here. Believe me, that's not magic, Yuri. It's not impossible. That's not impossible, right? Could it be that my memory is failing again and I just don't remember walking home? But that raises even more questions. Did I talk to Midas? What did he say? I wish you could remember. Why can't I remember? How did I leave the room without anyone noticing the blood on my uniform? For that matter. How did I get home at all? I'm still in a lot of pain. Believe me, Yuri, this isn't even the end of it. I struggle to my feet. I need to inspect myself to find out how bad my injury is. I slowly stagger to the bathroom, holding Thor in one hand and clutching my abdomen in my other. I take off my uniform so I can see better. Oh god! Yes, that's a pretty big bruise. Yay! Oh my, it's bigger than I thought. Oh my goodness! That wasn't here this morning, right? I guess that's the source of the pain that I'm feeling. But what happened? I'm pretty sure the only thing Monica can do is delete and alter their personalities, but not physically hurt them, or did Natsuki jab us in the abdomen? I close my eyes, trying to remember what happened. Bits and pieces are coming back to me. Natsuki. I knocked her... Excuse me. I knocked her to the floor. I was trying to stab her, but she fought back. I look at my right wrist, there are bruises there too. I guess there was too much adrenaline in my system for me to notice the pain earlier. Finger marks? But now I look closer, I see that there are finger marks. She grabbed my wrist. She was trying to stop me from using Thor on her. I didn't expect someone so small to be that strong. Believe me, Yuri, she's not as weak as you think. And she kicked me. Okay, that explains the big bruise. She kicked me hard in the stomach. That's the last thing I remember. But then, where did the blood come from? Exactly! She's supposed to be dead! I mean, that is if she unsuccessfully defended herself. I look over my body trying to find any cuts. The only ones I can find are the ones upon my arms that I already know of from today. The pattern of blood on the blade suggests that it was pushed straight in. Oh my goodness. I'm straining to remember the details of those last few seconds we were fighting, but it was so chaotic I'm just not sure. But I think I did push the knife into something. Or someone. Oh no. Oh no. Shit. Ah, stop! Please revert to the cutesy purple eyes, not this. At the time I was too frustrated. Okay, not a bit more. Less crazy, Yuri, please. At the time I was too frustrated about being unable to cut her throat to pay attention where the knife was going. Apparently she was able to run out of the room afterwards. I could have hit anything vital. I hold the blade up in front of my face. I've never seen someone else's blood up close before. What are you trying to do? There's something alluring about it. Yuri? Something mesmerizing. Something intoxicating. Are we gonna give the blade a blowjob right now? Before I know it, I put the blade between my lips. I wrung my tongue over it, tasting Natsuki's blood, letting it swish around in my mouth, savoring the flavor. What the hell? Is this my imagination, or does it taste sweeter than mine? Made a decisive motion I cut into my tongue. What the hell? I allowed my blood to mix with Natsuki's. It brings all kinds of strange thoughts and images in my mind. This is disturbing in more ways than one. Powerful? It makes you feel powerful, Yuri? What are you trying to do? As I swallow our blood, it makes me feel aroused. Oh my goodness. Yuri, please calm down. You're disturbing me in more ways than one. Wait, what? Where is this feeling coming from? I'm disgusted by the realization that I'm experiencing sexual thoughts about Natsuki. She's my enemy. How can I allow myself to feel such a thing? But now that I can think of it, she and I marked each other today. She gave me bruises and I cut into her. It is by far the most intimacy I've ever experienced with another human being. You call that intimacy? No, this is all wrong. I can't have an experience like this with Natsuki before I get to have it with Midas. But if Midas is my destiny, this shouldn't be possible, should it? What if I'm somehow ruining my destiny? I feel myself sinking into despair. What if this means I'm going to be alone forever? No. I can't let that happen. It's Natsuki's fault anyway. She's the one doing this. I think I hate her more than ever now. She's like the villain out of one of my fantasy novels. She's some kind of evil seductress, or I'm more familiar with the word succubus, but I think that's more sexual. Trying to lure me and Midas away from each other. I never knew someone could be so sinister in real life. It's utter nonsense that I should like her anyway. I've always hated her, right? Doubt creeps over me as distant, forgotten memories come churning to the surface of my mind. I remember from weeks past wanting to get to know her better, wishing I had the courage to talk to her. But why? Why would I want that? She's boring and simple and worthless and definitely not worth any of my consideration. She must have been weaving her spell on me for some time. What, is this like the Blade Mistress versus some kind of witch? Could she have been planning for Midas' arrival all along, just so she could split us up? How insidious! Well, I won't let her succeed. This just means I'm going to have to fight harder for him. I washed Natsuki's disgusting blood off the blade in the sink. We should be mindful of the fact that we did drink it, or rather licked it off the blade. I picked up my uniform and go back to my room. I felt terribly guilty that I almost let Natsuki affect me. I have to do something dramatic to show how devoted We're going to do the Blood and Piss poem, aren't we? But what? Thor is giving me a... Here we go! It's the Blood and Piss poem. I take a seat on my bed and wipe down his blade with alcohol. Here we go! I inspect my body, looking for a good spot. Actually, in light of what happened, my right forearm will be perfect. It's about time it got some attention anyway. There are so few cuts there. This is going to be tricky, doing it left-handed, but I'll do my best. Yikes! I raised my right forearm against my thighs to hold it steady. I bring my blade into contact with the bruise on my wrist. I write over it. I've only written one letter, but I'm already panting from the pain. It's in a wrist. In the bruise. Nonetheless, maybe it's the anticipation. That's 2 letters. I don't know if I can make it, but I remind myself that love is supposed to hurt. The fact that there's slicing noises, it's disturbing. That's 3 letters. I'm halfway there. I can't stop now. This isn't very good for my ears. A whimper escapes me from the pain, but I'm almost done. I just need to push through. Yes. When I finish, it's too bloody to see clearly. I lick off excess I lick off the excess blood so I can read it better. Midas. It still looks messy. I'm going to have to wait until it scars over before I'll be ready to show it to him. Okay, it's not the Blood and Piss poem yet. That'll be reserved for the last and most disturbing day. I can imagine. Still, we can have the rest of our lives ahead to appreciate it, so it's fine, I can wait. The important thing is that this proves that I'm his and he's mine. Whatever happens between me and Natsuki was just a one-off. It doesn't count. I just have to talk to Midas and convince him that. But let him know that Natsuki means nothing to me, and I mean nothing to her. The more I think about it, the more I want to see him and hear his voice again. Just looking at his name engraved on my arm is making me ache for him all over again. I need something to calm myself. Some tea would be really good right now. I carefully bandage up my arm. I put on my pajamas. My parents are home already, which makes me wonder again how much time has passed since the club session. They don't look at me as I enter the room. My mom is sitting at the kitchen table reading a book. My dad is behind the counter. He looks like he's preparing himself a snack. He's blocking the way to the kettle. I consider waiting for him to finish, but I'm too impatient for that right now. Move that! Oh, you're talking to our parents. Very rude of us. Move, Dad! He glances at me with a look of surprise. That turns into a look of irritation. I mean, this is the first time we talk to them, considering the reset. Or maybe it's a look of hurt. In any case, he says nothing but steps aside. I'm vaguely aware of the 2 of them looking rather perturbed, staring at me, but I don't care right now. I'm too preoccupied with thoughts of Midas. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, I grip my right forearm, feeling the sting of his name. Midas, Midas, Midas. I'm vaguely aware of my parents talking. I don't know if they're talking to me or each other. It seems unimportant right now. Maybe what happened between me and Natsuki today really doesn't count. Maybe since I've declared my feelings for Midas yet, or I haven't declared my feelings for Midas yet, it's okay for me to cut other people. The fact that we're looking at cuttings as something sexual. Is this our form of masturbation? Yes, that's it. These are my last days as an eligible bachelorette before I devote myself to Midas forever. I should get the chance to celebrate my last few days as a free woman. God, this sounds disturbing. Midas wouldn't mind if I cut around a bit before I finally settle down with him, right? He's my future betrothed. He would have to understand, rather. There's a whole world of experiences out there for me to sample, and the world is a big place. I continue pondering this as I continue my tea and bring it back upstairs. Entering my room, I almost trip over my uniform on the floor. I should brush the blood off it. It would be a relief to get the last traces of Natsuki off off of myself rather. As I'm putting it in the washing machine, my hand goes into the pocket. A pen? I wonder whose pen is it? That's right, I put it in there when I was going through his bag. Midas' pen! My breathing comes more rapid as a fresh excitement courses through my veins. I hold the pen in front of myself, unwilling to take my eyes off it as I return to my room. I hold the pen under the bedside light so I can see it better. I can see his fingerprints on it, proof that his skin oils are all over it. I know just what to do with it. Here we go. It's time for a very disturbing session of masturbation. Still sitting on the edge of my bed, I pull down my pajama bottoms. My breathing becomes more rapid in preparation for what I'm about to experience. No! What the hell? Ah! I was expecting we would stab ourselves in the no-no square, but what the hell? I plunged the pen into my left thigh as hard as I can. His fluids are entering my bloodstream, and I want more. Ah! This would be like if we were imagining it with a knife, it would be okay, but a pen? Ah! I stab it into my thigh again. And again, I feel so giddy I can't help giggling at the sight of the 3 little rivers of blood pouring out of me. I eagerly take in all the exquisite sensations of his pen, bringing me, not to mention the smell of fresh blood. And tea. I look over at my desk to see the cup of tea I poured for myself. I've forgotten all about it. I almost fall over when I stand to retrieve it. My left leg doesn't quite move the way I intended to. Maybe good because we're losing a lot of blood. I probably damaged my quadricep muscles. I pushed the pen in rather. I sit at my desk to assess it. It would have gone into the rectus femoris muscle. Maybe deep down enough for the vastus intermedius. This is a reminder that I should really study the muscle system more. I didn't really intend to push it in that deep, but then again, love is supposed to hurt. I thought that we were about to shove it in our no-no square and get piss all over it. I smile at the thought of what I'm willing to endure for my love for Midas. I look at the pen again, with its mixture of our fluids on it. I wonder how it writes. I idly clean the pen by stirring my tea with it. As I open my notebook let's not drink that tea. That's very dirty. I open my notebook to a new page, and I write. And write. Just enjoying the feeling of Midas' pen in my hand. In time, I've lost count of how many pages I've filled. Eventually, I'm aware that I'm feeling thirsty, and I've long ago finished my tea. God, that sounds so disturbing. It's dark now. I should probably go to bed. I feel better though. This is exactly the kind of relaxing activity I needed. You call this relaxing? As I stand, I almost trip over my pajama bottoms that are around at my ankles. I'm getting so clumsy lately. I'm glad no one was here to see that. That would be quite embarrassing. I should probably clean up the dry blood covering my thigh. I'm getting so forgetful lately. It's vaguely troubling, but I try to put it from my mind. I just keep reminding myself that I am heading toward a better future. A future with Midas. But beyond that, I remind myself of my newfound realization that I can be free of enjoying myself along the way. As I get ready for bed, I dreamily look forward to everything I want to do tomorrow.